Welcome to another AGM Perspective, where we discuss real issues in real time. This your brother AGM once again, talking about free Grandmaster J. That's the topic for today. And the reason why I formulated this topic is because the brother been taking a beating. Ever since these charges been manufactured against the brother, he's been assaulted from all different directions. Sometimes people feel that because you're not in the forefront defending the brother, that you're being disloyal to the brother. I don't see it like that. Sometimes you have to step back and instead of fighting against the tide, sometimes you have to move in the direction with the tide. Sometimes you have to listen to see and determine who is who. In the midst of all the chaos, in the midst of all the naysay, the doubt, the criticism, the truth is buried, is submerged within the mayhem and chaos. I say, free Grandmaster J and exonerate him from all the manufactured charges against him. True believers in liberation of our people will always remain loyal and vigilant. I understand sometimes you put yourself in the forefront and all you get back in return is criticism. You get judged by your own people, who you are actually putting your life on the line for. But you always have that demographic that's critical of every move that you make. Like Grandmaster J usually say, he bring that analogy about Moses being in a mountain and his followers becoming discontented, losing faith, losing hope while they're waiting for him to come back. Strike the shepherd, scatter the sheep. It's been happening over and over and over and over and over. When COINTELPRO was used to take out the brother Fred Hampton, the Black Panthers collapsed. Today we have to study history. We have to realize that our leaders will forever be targeted and taken out the equation. But the movement must continue. The support for the brothers must continue. Active or inactive, allegiance must be maintained. Unity is the key. Solidarity is the key. Without it, we're lost. If we go back through history, all prominent leaders were wedged away from the people, isolated, and then neutralized. The tactics change and become quote unquote more civilized, but the result is the same. Whenever law enforcement has to result or resolve to using criminal tactics, they cross the line. They become criminals themselves. I repeat, whenever the authorities and law enforcement have to use criminal tactics to gain a conviction, they're just as bad as the criminals themselves. Even worse, because they know the law, but they twist it and they violate it for their own satisfaction, for their own justification. Their ends justifies their means in their minds. How twisted is that? So how can they point a finger at anyone and try to maintain the high moral ground? It can't work. Either you have morals and scruples or you don't. We have a brother that's crippled by this investigation. The brother can't adhere to the people. He can't reach the people the way he normally does through social media, an effective tool to reach the masses that needs to hear his words of wisdom to comfort them, to guide them in the times of tribulations and trauma. Now, we see what's going on with the Palestinians and the Israelis in Gaza. We see the mass shootings, the senseless killings that's taking place. Something has to be done. You can't keep avoiding situations or a problem and waiting for it to escalate. If you truly are about peace and order and evolution and moving forward, atonement, then meaningful dialogue has to take place. When you address the people, you addressed a leader who is accepted by the people to be their spokesman or spokesperson to represent their needs. We have to be on one accord. As a people, we have to know what we want today. Fred Hampton was a charismatic leader. He believed in unifying the elements, the different elements of our people, to bring them to galvanize and bring them together for the greater good. I see Grandmaster Jay moving or was moving to do the same thing. He brought hope to the people. I guess COINTELPRO will always look or view that hope to be a dangerous thing. So, are we to believe that there's actually empathy to move forward from slavery and the effects of slavery? When atonement cannot be rationalized or realized, are we to believe that there's genuine efforts being made to move forward? Since we're always being told slavery was in the past, Jim Crow's laws was in the past, segregation was in the past, violation of human rights was a thing of the past. Let's move on. How can we move on if there's no genuine dialogue? How can we heal the wounds of yesteryear if the same things, the same afflictions exist, creating those wounds to fester? When are we going to have meaningful dialogue? When are our leaders going to stop being targeted and neutralized because you fear unity among black people? You fear the ending of black on black crime. You fear economical inclusion. You fear level playing fields. You fear anything that takes away your advantage that you've been having for centuries. So equality is not in your best interest. You had a leader, Grandmaster Jay, that was doing things by the book. I never heard the brother say anything against the government. I never heard the brother say anything against the country. Anything subversive. But yet, because the brother took it upon himself to become the vanguard of the black nation, a natural right, wanting to defend his people, you felt threatened by that. Where's the justice? Where's the equality? Where's the human rights? The pieces don't fit. You're saying one thing in one breath and doing another, which is contradictory. Your actions and words is not matching up. Free Grandmaster Jay and exonerate the brother of all the manufactured charges against him. Restore the brother to his rightful place. And allow the brother to do what he needs to do to galvanize the people. So that we could put an end, or to at least nullify some of the violence that's taking place in the communities. Unless you want, that's what you want. Unless you thrive off of the violence. Then you don't want the violence to stop. a serious situation, people. Stop the distractions. Pay attention to what's going on. Things are only going to get worse before they get better. We need our leaders. We don't need TikTok and all these different distractions. We need our leaders. We need to stay focused. We're in a heavy trick bag. And the more we distracted, the deeper we sink into it. And the saddest part is the majority of us don't even know what's going on. Peace.